they didn't watch any of my videos, because they would know that's a no-no. Because what are you calling for? You should be compensated. Hello, my name is Kina. I am the THEOXPERIENCE. Welcome back to my channel, which is geared towards everything relationships, dating, and loving yourself always. The title of this video, ladies, how do you want to be cheated on? Before we get into the information, I do want you to like this video. Please smash your subscribe buttons. And then, of course, I do want you to comment down below. You guys ready? All right, let's go. Before we start today's video, I want to dedicate this video to my dear friend, Kevin Samuels, who passed away yesterday. And they're saying that it's cardiac arrest. And while I didn't believe in everything that he had to say, I felt like his delivery wasn't always the best. It was a conversation that definitely has been needed, especially in our community. And for that, I thank him. And I definitely want him to rest in peace. Thank you, Kevin Samuels. You will be remembered. So, in light of that, I like to reference Kevin Samuels because even though I think that he has a very good message, I think women oftentimes shut down because they don't like his delivery. And because they don't appreciate his delivery, they can't really comprehend the message. So while this isn't his exact message, this is something I've believed in for 20 plus years. And that is, at some point in time, you will be cheated on. Not all the time. Again, this is a generalization, but it happens more often than it doesn't. It's been happening since the beginning of time. This is nothing new. I think that because we are in a generation where now we speak upon it, we are very open with who we are as people. I think it's a conversation that continues to keep coming up. And we need to continue to keep addressing it because we can only evolve as a people, as a community. So, this video, how you want to be cheated on, is relevant, is valid, and I really want you to take heed to the things that I'm about to say. I'm going to start with a little bit of a backstory for me. My first real relationship that I understood and saw growing up was my grandparents. I was raised by them. They lived in a 4-bedroom house. And it was my grandfather, my grandmother, me, my uncle at the time, and cousins would come in and out. I used to go to private school. And there were no buses. So my grandfather used to literally pick me up and drop me off. Every Friday, we would stop at the house around the corner. We're just going to call her Mrs. G. Mrs. G, we would stop at her house. And my grandfather would, of course, park his car on the side of the road, get out and go in. And I would be in the car and he would say, hey, you know, I'll be in here for a couple minutes. Okay. 25 minutes. He comes back out like clockwork. He went in with an envelope full of money and came out empty-handed. But nonetheless, smiling and happy as he always is. And we proceeded to go the rest of the way home. I didn't think nothing of it, but this happened literally my entire elementary school years. And I was in elementary school. I went to this particular school from 1st to 8th grade. So through middle school. So I would see the lady, very nice, respectful, young, pretty. She would come out, she would say hi, and I'd wave. Because to me, she was just Mrs. G. It wasn't until he passed away and a handsome young man showed up at the funeral that looked just like my mama and all my uncles. And at that moment, I knew. I said, oh, yeah. So that's what that was. I gave you the backstory because I want you to know that you have a grandfather. Y'all have grandparents. Everybody knows that cheating has been going on for centuries. This is nothing new. But back in the day, it was respected. Mrs. G, even though she lived a block over and down the street, she never came on our block. I never seen my granny get out of her bed, walk down the stairs, go across the street and down the block to her house. She never went on her street. Because they both knew it was an unspoken rule that I don't worry about you, Mrs. G, you're not my business. You my husband's business. And Mrs. G didn't worry about my granny because that wasn't her business. That was my grandfather's business. Mrs. G was compensated for her time. And even though my grandfather broke a cardinal rule, and that's having outside kids, that wasn't far-fetched back in the day either. Some of y'all cousins and brothers and sisters too. Your cousins is your stepbrothers, half brothers and sisters too. So stop acting like this is new. It's not new. But what I want you to do is we need to go back to that. We need to go back to where everybody stayed in their lane, played their position. Because back then, we didn't have no drama. And if we did have drama, guess who spoke about the drama? It was talked about only in songs. It was sung about. We had old school blues bands talking about it, but husbands, wives, and mistresses weren't going back and forth. They knew their place. So, going back to a video I just recorded called Modern Women Will Be Cheated On, and I let everybody know what the role should be, I'm going to go a little bit further in this video. It's not actually the cheating that you're upset about. Ego aside, because that's what makes you call a mistress. That's what makes you go through his phone and look for something to be mad at. Ego. Mistresses, what makes you call his wife? What makes you step out of your boundaries? Because he gave you, the only thing that he gave you was emotions. He loved you. He this, he that. But because you weren't compensated to what you know you should have been compensated for, it's a problem. Wives, I'm going to talk to you first. To be honest, nobody wants to be cheated on. It's the last thing you want to be, right? Speaking from a woman, we have emotions, and I'm a woman too. So I don't want to be cheated on. but it's a fact and it happens. Am I going to get all up in arms about it? No, because I know how I want to be cheated on. I don't want to be embarrassed. I don't want nobody calling my house, disturbing my peace. I don't want any outside children. And I definitely don't want to contract anything. Whatever else you do outside of those things, it's not my business. It becomes my business when any one of those things happen. She's calling my house. That's a no-no. But guess what? As a wife, to all my wives, you should already have a rebuttal in line, waiting for a mistress that has the audacity to call your house. A mistress calls my house, she gonna hate she ever. Because I'm gonna ask her, oh, baby, I know about you. I've been knowing about you. Because mistresses want to let you know that they exist. They want to be the first one to tell you. You know how it is telling that first news to somebody and you like, dang, da-da-da-da-da, and the other person be like, girl, I already know that happened. You be like, dang, who told you? Same thing. They want to be the first ones to let you know. The mistresses like that, they don't have no home training. They didn't watch any of my videos because they would know that's a no-no. Because what are you calling for? You should be compensated. You should be living your best life. Part-time man, full-time salary. If you was a good one, if you was skilled and knowledgeable, you would be paid, compensated well for your skill set. So you calling my house, you disturbing my peace is a no-no. Now I gotta get on yo. Because at the end of the day, you should know the rules. And when you call my house, you're gonna hear it from me. And I'm gonna be so subtle and so calm and so nice, but I'm going to politely tell you, oh, baby, I already know about you. There are several others like you, but you are the only one that has crossed the line. You must haven't been paid or compensated that well. But I'll let my husband know that since you weren't taken care of to the fullest extent that he could have, he owes you some money. And that will be the last time I will ever talk to her. Because she will know that she couldn't one-up me. Now, I might not have even known about her. But what I do know is that men cheat. And I am going to have a rebuttal, and it's going to be very much like that. Oh, I know about you. I know exactly who you are. Yes. Blah, 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 blah. But you ladies, you wives, should be practicing your rebuttal. Now, I hope it doesn't ever come to this. But if it comes to this, she should never be able to one-up you. That's just the rules. When you have the conversation later with your husband, no need to raise your voice. No need to be upset. The only thing you should be mad about is the fact that he couldn't control the situation. So it doesn't have anything to do with her. It has everything to do with him and how he treats the situation. Because he, as a man, should be able to afford his mistresses, side chicks, hoes, and he should be able to control them as well. And if things get out of control, I'm going to be looking at you like less of a man. Now, to my side chicks, you should never, ever have the audacity to call the wife. Because what are you calling her for? She's none of your business. Stay in your lane. Because guess what? Like I said, you should be compensated. You have the best of the best worlds. You get to live your free life, be compensated, and get to have a part-time man, and you can do whatever you want in your free time. Why are you calling her? Now, if she has the audacity to go through his phone, read some text messages, emails, however you communicate with her, and the wife has the audacity to call you the mistress, you need to have a rebuttal. And the rebuttal should be a little bit like this. Oh, you're such and such. I think your husband is friends with my husband. Let me get him on the phone. I'll be calling and say, hey, Jim. Because you're going to get off my phone. Because I'm none of your business. Now, the reason I do that instead of telling her what it is, because that's not your place either as a mistress. You don't need to dive off into that. You don't need to get off into how many times you see him and you've seen him 3 times a week for the last year. That's not your place. That is not your business. So you do what? You divert. None of your business. You don't have to tell her anything. You don't owe her anything. The only thing and the only loyalty you have is to your husband that you've been dealing with. Your boyfriend, whatever you want to call him. That's the only loyalty you have. You don't have a loyalty to her. She doesn't have loyalty to you. You don't know her. Remember, you follow side chick etiquette rules. You follow tips to date a married man. You shouldn't even know what's going on in their house anyways. Period. That's how you respond. She shouldn't call you. You shouldn't call her. Y'all shouldn't have no dealings. The rules should be set, and that's it. That's how it should go. Because it's going to go that way anyways. Meaning he's going to cheat anyways. But if I was a wife, that's how I would want to be cheated on. Because y'all can disagree with this video all you want to. But wives don't want to be embarrassed. Mistresses don't want to be bothered. They want him a couple times. And the wives that are mad, the wives that are calling, y'all should be happy. Half of y'all husbands got ED anyways. They can't keep it up half the time. You don't want to deal with him. He annoys you. You sitting there nodding at the screen with baby throw up on your shirt. Because you're tired majority of the time. You don't want to deal with him. You don't want to hear his antics. So yeah, let the mistress deal with him 2-3 days a week. Get a break. You need a break. Because how dare he, after you've been working all day and taking care of the kids and cooking dinner and cleaning up or whatever you do all day, y'all be the first ones mad because he want to come home and have sex. But then you also mad he got a mistress? I'm so confused. Don't be mad at that. She took a task off your plate. That's all you have to see it as. But again, if I was a wife, that's how I would want to be cheated on. Y'all let me know in the comments how you want to be cheated on. Because like I said, it will happen. Especially if you date a prominent man, a wealthy man, a rich man, an athlete. I talk about them all the time. If that's who you want to date, you'll definitely have to deal with that. Now, to all my women that's dating average men, you'll have to deal with it too. They'll deal with it a little bit different. But my years of being a bartender, waitress, it happens more often than it doesn't. So yeah, Drop your comments below. And everybody, and these marriages, to all my wives, to all my husbands, to all my mistresses, everybody, you guys be safe out there. Take care.